It's really going to be fine since we are live. We'll just, like I said, give everyone a little time to come in, and then I'm going to go ahead and share it myself. Um, and we'll see. We'll go from there.
Okay, let me
And
see what's happening.
we're gonna rock and roll because we did not want to be tardy for the party.
Mm-mm.
Queen Becca and Toya. So let me see here. I think I'm just trying to see if there's a. Hmm.
Hmm. See, when I just
So I could just share the link. I don't know if it seems different for you.
it
Um,
does when I try to share that link, like I was telling you, and it looks like it's. I can't tell if I'm what I'm watching.
okay, let me
It's enter
see.
the broadcast. It looks like it's trying to put me back in again. I don't want to do that.
Okay,
So
hold
sharing the link the way I
on.
did it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it. I just shared it,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna share it to one more spot, and then we'll be good to go. Okay,
All
and it is fine. Let me see.
right.
It really is. Okay. For some reason I can't share it like to the women's champ page, but I was able to share it to my personal page. So yeah. But it's all good. So let me start here. I know right now we have one person watching, which is okay. And that might have been me since I was on
For me, trying to watch.
my phone. But let me just start here, Becca. Let me just, ask you how are you? I know that you had a lot going on right before
Um,
you go.
I mean, yeah, I'm doing a lot better. I feel like I'm still somewhat detoxing stress out of my life the last couple of years, but it feels good
Mhm.
to release some of that
That's good.
for
And
sure.
you look good. You really
Thanks.
do. I want you
You
to know
too.
that. Oh, thank you. So, I know we were supposed to have someone else on, and we understand it in life. We say we have to prepare for the unexpected, and sometimes we just don't know what is going to take place.
True.
And, I just said, well, this gives Becca and I an opportunity to have more of an intimate conversation. A friend of mine helped me put it that way. And I know you were apprehensive initially when I told you that I wanted you to come on. I was like, oh gosh, I was more concerned about you. I was like, I don't want her to feel as if I'm going to drill her with questions and there's no one else here to kind of fill that space. But I said, she'll be fine.
Hmm.
And this will give you more time to talk about your journey. And if nothing else, because I know you pretty well, although we met last year, isn't that interesting? It seems as if we've known each other a long time.
Yeah.
Um, I know how you are
Hmm.
as a mom, and all the give and giving that you give of yourself. And if nothing else, even if we just talk for 40 minutes, this 40 minutes is going to be about you because
Hmm.
all the other hours are about your family. So we're going to focus on Becca tonight. And I know that you don't always like that, but that's what we're going to
That is
do.
not my comfort zone.
Well, this isn't mine. I told you, this absolutely is not mine. And we can even say that, like, I think it's interesting, although we're live, we don't know who's going to see this one after it's shared. But it's just amazing to me how God has allowed me to cross paths with some of the most amazing people in life, and you being one of them. You want to tell people how we met?
Um, so we met by chance in my classroom. You were assigned to me for one day, and we happened to have an opening again in a position in my classroom, which I had had many, many openings over the last couple of years for different reasons. And I said, "Hey, we got a spot. We seem like we kind of meshed, and you always want to work with people you like when you work so closely together, like we did."
Yes.
And I just liked your vibe from from that first day. And next thing you know, you took a job you didn't want. And here we are. It's been about a year, right?
Yes, yes. I came, um, that was October,
Man, yeah.
October 10th. Wow, can you believe that? A year has gone by already.
Man,
And
what a
I'm,
year.
what a year.
Mhm.
right? So many lessons to learn, uh,
Mhm.
plenty of opportunity for growth for
Lots
the
of growth.
both of us. We're not
Mhm.
where we were even
We are
last
not.
year,
No.
so I'm grateful to God for that. And so
Mhm.
some people again may not know like your background. So as people come
Mhm.
on, tell us about your background as far as your
Um,
what your profession was.
well, so we met in my classroom. I've been a teacher for 17 years. When we met, I was in my third year at a new position, very new position. But
Mm-hmm.
I've been a teacher a long time, special ed, elementary age, and then pre-K age. So that's been the last many years of my life has been teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And then got married a few years ago, started our family, and it's been really fast and furious ever since, with little people at home, little people at work. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
And a pull there as well. Like you and I, we've had these conversations. I started my family a lot younger than you did.
Mm-hmm.
And so my children are older and
Mm-mm.
yours are younger. And so I understand again that pull of you're giving yourself so much at school with someone else's child, so many other children. And then you have to go home and you have to be there, still be there for your family. And somehow or another find yourself some kind of time to
Mm-hmm.
you. And as women, I know that we struggle with that balance, right?
Oh,
So,
definitely. Yeah.
where
Mm-hmm.
it's a stretch, like even for us, like even just keeping your hands done. And that,
Mm-hmm.
leads into what got you into Color Street, like what.
Yeah.
So tell us about your story. How did you get involved with Color Street?
Um, I always liked to have my toes done. My nails would never last, so I never did them for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
But I started going to the salon to get my nails like acrylic and gel powder done when we got married. And I loved having them done. And so I continued going to the salon for years, about 9 years. And
Mm-hmm.
then when COVID hit, that all changed. I thought I was so clever. I waited until the end of spring break to get my nails done, thinking, okay, in 4 weeks, like we'll be fine. I'll be back getting my
Yeah.
nails like filled, no problem. And that
Mm-hmm.
turned into how many months later are we now? I mean, they did eventually open up, but so whenever I took my nails off, I just had my terrible little weak puny nails for such a long time, and just being at home all the time, being on quarantine was so hard. And like you talk about the
Mm-hmm.
giving, I was still giving of myself to my families at work. The virtual learning was going on, and I had my kids at home. I was trying to teach, anywhere from a 3-year-old to a 6-year-old, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just really, it was a wild time for all of us. And so my friend had worn Color Street. So I finally tried it. I realized, oh, I could get 4 colors to try for less than I was paying at the salon for a month. I'll try it. Sure, why not? What else do I have to do with my time right now
Okay.
besides,
Okay.
I'm going to be home. I might as well. So I tried it, and I just love the product, and I love doing a little something for myself and having something a little fun, and brings me a little joy. And I love giving and gifting and um, sharing happiness with others. And so I decided, hey, I love it so much. Why won't my friends love it? Like I bet many of them would. And if it's something I can share with them and help other people find joy in something, then I'm all for that.
Wow. And
You
that's
know.
perfect too. But like you said, what I love is that you said you started out initially, you was doing something for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I
And
didn't want you to know,
that was always the only thing I did for myself. And
yeah,
sometimes my daughter
we
would
have
go with
that in
me. It was
common.
like 1.5 hours once a month. It
Mm-hmm.
was my time to go to the salon. My daughter would come with me and watch, and we were just
Yeah.
kind of stepping away from the hustle and bustle. Sometimes I would go by myself, especially when she was younger. But as she
Mm-hmm.
got older, it was still for myself. Um, and so when I really didn't have that anymore, I was kind of like, I still need a little time, to just,
For you,
yeah,
right?
for me, and to just settle my brain a little bit and sit somewhere and find a little peace, and then have a little something fabulous, you know?
Yeah. Well, I saw Nicole. Hi, Nicole. She wrote, I love Color Street. Now,
Yeah.
I've been, as much as I love my hands to look nice, I have been under a rock because I didn't hear about it, Becca, until you told me about it was a couple of weeks ago. I
Yeah,
had
and
never.
I knew you're one of the first people I thought about because you'd be trying to paint your nails in there as pre-K kids. You
Yeah.
gotta come, my nails are wet, or paint them on lunch. I gotta do it because I need 30 minutes to drive before the kids come, and that's just not, I don't have time for that. Who has time for that? So I knew this would be something that would be life-changing for you potentially. Oh, my dog.
It's okay. That's
I have
Kanan.
3 children and a dog.
Yes, I heard him. I figured, but
Yes,
it's okay.
he's
He wants to be
right
a part of
here.
the conversation. It's okay. The beautiful thing about this is that we accept the fact, okay, Kanan, I hear you.
I'm gonna
We
have my husband get him because I can't let him in the backyard. He'll tear something up.
okay,
I
it's
have a lot of bad
fine.
days, so.
It's fine. But no, when I was reading the history of it, Becca, is that a man actually began
Yes.
Color Street. I was amazed at the fact that here's the thing, he's sitting on a bus and
Yes.
it's a traffic jam. And he looks out and sees a woman painting her nails in a cab. It's okay. Painting her nails
I'm
in a
gonna go
cab.
put him up.
Okay,
I'm
I'll wait until you come back. For those of you that are with us, thank you so much for joining in. Uh, Becca and I started our conversation about 11 minutes ago. So I just want to say hi for those of you that are watching. I do want to give you an opportunity to feel free. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Becca, I do give the audience an opportunity to ask questions if they like, or, leave a comment. So I just wanted to say that. But know that he was sitting on the bus and noticed a woman painting her nails in the cab. And I thought, wow, how amazing is that he would come up with something that would be so
such an
beneficial.
innovative product on something that's so been around forever. Like this is really the first time nail polish has been reinvented. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and for busy moms, especially for anybody who's busy, it's such a time saver,
Yeah.
and it's such a high quality product that you get a lot of bang for your buck. Moms are always looking for the best. What's the best
Right.
deal? And I have to say too, sharing it with my daughter has been so fun. Even my boys love to get some on. It's so funny. Like we had glow in the darks, and they were so excited to have glow in the dark toes, for
Okay.
Halloween. So just
Yeah.
it's fun, and it's not anything that's hard to do either, which I loved about it. A little bit of practice, and you're good
I
to
feel
go.
like I'm gonna need a lot more practice because I was like, I will not be flashing my hands in front of the screen. I tried. This is my first time, and I just said, well, I'll give it a shot. In which, considering I'm like for my first time, I'm like, it's okay. I feel as if I'll gain my skill. My skills will enhance as we continue
Sure.
on. But with this still gives an opportunity for income to come into your home. And so if you would just, talk about that, how have you seen, like, how has it been beneficial for you and your family?
Right. So, I said earlier I've been a teacher for a long time, and the time finally came for me to step away from that role for a while. I'd really given as much of myself that I could for a long time, and it was just time to take a step back. It's quite scary, not knowing. I've always worked. I've always been an independent person. I've always had a job. I taught for 17 years. That's a steady income for quite a while. So to walk away from that was quite intimidating. But sometimes, when the Lord is pushing you, that you can trust that something else will come along. Who knows what that will be? I sure didn't think it would be nails. We've got a few other things we're doing too. We're selling ribs and things like that. We're starting a barbecue business that I have time to help my husband with now. And but yeah, just the opportunity for extra income has really been exciting because I could potentially, bring in something to contribute to our family that is so much fun. Like it doesn't feel like work at all.
But let me just say this since we're there, and I'm going to put your information up as well for everyone. For those that are interested, I'll have to remember to do it again. So if you are watching, if you're interested in supporting Becca, that is a website that you can go to. So, and Becca, we don't know who's going to watch this stream later. The reason why I wanted to do this power hour, I guess I should have put that up as well. Tonight's topic is educator turned entrepreneur. Who knew? Like you didn't know what was going to come your way, but look at the opportunities that have presented themselves because you took that leap of faith. And you know, for me, and you know my story, um, and how I did not want to take that job, but it was beyond me
Mm-hmm.
on so many levels.
That's
And I
something I so respect about you, that you move on faith like that.
yes, and it's not easy. It's not easy. And you know,
No.
I know that it's not because we want to know. Like for me, okay, if you're telling me to go across the street, why? What
Hmm.
am I about to encounter?
That's my personality for sure too.
You
Hmm.
know, so it's just like, well, when you stop, it's just like, well, what's next? But look at the time that it has given you to not feel so pulled. One of the main reasons too, Beck, that I wanted you to come on outside of trying to get you some support for Color Street was that I just believe that there are many other moms that are where you were last year.
Hmm.
You knew you needed to take the leap, but you just did not have the courage to do.
Hmm.
And it's like, look at where you are now. You look, I can talk to you about what I saw last year as opposed to what I see now. And I know you still have some shedding to do. It's going to take some time.
So releasing and detoxing.
Yes. Look,
Hmm.
you're preaching to the choir. I understand. I totally get it. But at the same token, your story is going to help some other woman out to realize it's time to take a step back from that so that I can focus on this. And so let me ask you this. What like what keeps you going?
Keeps me going. I mean, I think that I see so much potential around me, and I see that I now have more time to help develop that, whether it's with my children, my husband and some of his endeavors, some of my um, some of the things that we're trying, like the Color Street, like just that new opportunity. I think it's exciting, and I think that I see so many of my teacher friends what they're going through. My kids are in school. Two of my kids are in school, so I know what the stress that their teachers are under, and just trying to find ways to help people find a little more joy and a little more opportunity to just breathe, because I think
Yeah.
everybody's carrying around so much stress. I feel like
Hmm.
everybody's got burdens just piled up on them so high that you know stepping forward is painful, and I don't want that for my loved ones. I want to help them release that, because I know how I feel having released that.
Mm-hmm. That's imperative. You know, I was in a conversation with someone the other week, and I was last week actually, and I was just sharing with them that it is so important for us to understand why we are placed on this earth to begin with. And
Mhm.
some people don't know why. They don't understand their purpose, so they're going in circles.
Mhm.
And just even with what you're doing, I know for a fact, there is some woman that is going to watch this stream and not think that she could quit her job. And you and I both have that in common. I told you, I quit my job and moved to a completely different state, not having boatloads of money in the bank or anything like that. It's just like I heard go and I went. And part of my going, it allowed me, like I said, to meet some amazing people. And I think
Mhm.
that, you know, you and I, we had our differences. What I loved about us is that we could talk about because we bumped
Mhm.
heads big time because of our personalities. We're both very headstrong, and I love that.
Mhm.
But it didn't cause us to lose the love for one another.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so many people don't have that, Becca. Like I cherish that.
Mhm.
And I told Evans that as well. I cherish that about y'all. God knew that I needed you all in my life. But I'm going back to the importance of understanding why we're here. You had served your purpose, your capacity at that time, as far as with those
Mhm.
children. And now you have an opportunity to not only, you know, focus on your children, but also to help your husband, like that partnership, that energy that you were using, you know, writing all of these reports. Well, now you can season your ribs, you know, and I forgot about that. You'll have to tell us before we get off for those that are in that area, you know,
Yeah.
how they can reach you to. If you want to even tell us that now, where do they go? Because I didn't get that information from you to put up.
Um, it's still such a new thing for us. We can't even settle on our name, which is so funny because we've had this kind of, a dream for a while. We've talked about it. It's been something we've, been
Hmm.
kind of preparing for a long time. didn't know how or when we'd actually kind of take the next step.
Okay.
So we're still trying to settle on some things, but what we do know is we got good food. My husband, his ribs and basically all of his smoking skills are really just top notch. So we're mostly just sharing in our neighborhood, kind of locally with friends, but we're about ready to take the next step soon.
Okay.
Probably something that really pops off in January, but you can get on my I post on my Facebook page. That's the best way to reach me. Or you can
Okay.
email me at BeccaDNails@Yahoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, email me if you're in Fort Worth, Arlington, Mansfield, anywhere in our area. We would be thrilled to make you some amazing barbecue. I mean, we're
And tell
smoking
them again your email. Tell them again your email.
BeccaDNails at yahoo.com. So if
Okay.
you don't want to cook your turkey, we got it. We will cook your turkey. It'll be delicious. It'll be the best turkey you ever had, quite possibly.
His salmon is really good.
I will say top 3 for sure.
Wow.
Because it's that good. And that's something else, we like sharing the joy of good food with people. Like we are not trying to start a restaurant or anything, but just, the need is there. We see, like I said before, people carry so many burdens, like you don't have to do it all yourself. And that's something that I find very gratifying, helping other people and helping them find a way that they might be able to streamline or share their talents with other people and just kind of build that community. We've got people that buy from us every week because they don't want to cook every single meal for themselves,
Yeah.
and supporting other people, supporting small businesses is something dear to my heart too. If you know me, like if you make a product that is a good product that I like, I will be gifting it. I will be buying and giving it away because I know that supports you and I want to share good things that I love with people that I love.
Yeah.
So that's kind of another thing that really drew me to Color Street. I have kind of dabbled in selling a few things over the years. I've never really been as gung-ho with anything as I am with this. I don't know necessarily why, but like things I believe in, I want to share with people. And this is something that's so simple. I just feel like it brings you joy. We all need a little bit more of that.
We definitely do, but something that
more than ever, I feel like.
we do. And this is something that you believe in as well, is getting back to Becca. That's something that you and I would talk about that as moms, again, I say this often. That's why I'm the women's champ. But I understand that we can lose ourselves along the way because we are so busy concentrating on everyone else. And my goodness, I like that I can use Color Street. And when I take this off, I'm not going to have all of the black smudge on that I would would normally have with a regular color. It's just like color makes us happy. The world is colorful. And getting back to your getting back to your food, that's how a lot of people are able to just bond. It's something about good food, good people, and good conversation. And so if you all are able to do that, like you said, like be able to provide that service, like you're helping someone else, but they're also helping you as well because right now I know you're in the building stage. And so, yes, of course, you took a loss with your finances, but man, you don't look like it. It doesn't seem like there's any lack. I'm serious. Like I just saw you the other week and I've never seen you so at ease. And that is important. I think that when we are at ease, we think clearer. We're able to make far better decisions. And then we're able to understand it goes back to what our purpose is and how we are set in every step is ordered to help someone else. We're solving problems. You're helping solve some problems in the world, Becca. You and your husband are. You're bringing joy. You're spreading joy. And my goodness, like you said, we do need that because of all that's going on, and even just the things that are going on within us. So other ways in which you're promoting yourself. You said, are you just doing the Facebook? Right? How else are you promoting yourself for Color Street? How often are you going live? What are you doing to make sure that you get the word out?
For my Color Street business, I have a VIP Facebook group that anybody who's interested can get in. I share ideas, tips, tidbits. It's also a place to go for your shopping link. The creativity that Color Street really allows it's really your limit. like some of the things that I see other ladies do with their nails and the way they use the product, it really is a good creative outlet, which I didn't even realize I was missing so much. Like when you're
Mm,
busy just running that rat race, that's all it is.
yes.
I just felt like my wheels were spinning and I was
Mhm,
getting nowhere. I didn't have traction anywhere,
mhm,
but I was busy everywhere.
mhm.
So such
Oh,
a
I
blessing.
like that.
Having my husband who supported me in that and saw that, we always kind of wanted me to not work, but I always felt like I had to work. And so finally God was like, it's okay to stop. Like you can serve in other areas, you can,
Mhm.
use other gifts for a time and then go back to it.
Isn't that something? Because sometimes it just may not look the way that we think it is. Because Becca, you're still teaching. You're teaching women how to apply color streak. You're
I
teaching,
am.
I
I'm
think,
doing all the
you know what
It's
I
so
mean?
funny.
But
And it's so much fun.
right, but
Yeah.
it should be. I think that we have bought
Mhm.
into this narrative that we have to
Mhm.
hate where we're going to work. And it's just like, this is 8 or 9 hours of my life that I don't get back.
Mhm.
I think I should
Right.
enjoy wherever I am. And I don't think that again, when it goes back to when you really understand why you're here, whatever it is that your work is on earth, it won't feel like work.
Right.
It's
And even,
it, it's hard work, but I don't think it's not going to be that burden. And we've
yes,
all
I agree.
wanted to in places of employment where it was a burden.
hmm I always loved teaching, and it was always what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had any doubt about that, and I feel like I am a natural teacher, but it's just kind of my nature.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but just different circumstances over the years, it kind of built up. Certain parts of that job started to lose joy for me, but I found new areas,
Mm-hmm.
real like passion. Like in my
Mm-hmm.
last position, working with those families really touched my heart and really made me think about things in a new way as a mom, a recent mom.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
getting some of those babies, it was the first time they'd come to school, to my
Mm-hmm.
classroom. I was the very first teacher many of them had, and oftentimes these kiddos had so many disabilities or intense needs that they couldn't necessarily speak for themselves. And so that's a big trust issue. And so I think connecting with moms on that level, that
Mm-hmm.
job just gave me a new perspective on maybe avenues I'll take in my teaching career down the road,
Mm-hmm.
but also having that, just realizing, kind of like you said, it's okay to step away now and do something else,
Mm-hmm.
and regain some of myself. My
Yeah.
youngest is 4 now. He just turned 4.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 3 kids in under 4 years. So, I mean, they're quite close in age, as you know, and they're
Mm-hmm.
loud and boisterous people. They're
Mm-hmm.
world changers, like if they don't change the world or something,
Yeah.
I'll be shocked. So just being able to refocus my energy, I think, and kind of allowing God to open new doors for me has really been incredible.
I
It
can see
has.
that.
Mhm.
I can totally see that. And that's the way you should be able to live your life because that's what we should be modeling for our children.
Mhm.
That you don't have to settle and it's okay to move on when you feel that nudge. That's why I said, you're a teacher just by nature. You're just teaching in a different capacity. And who knows what you'll do at 30,
Mhm.
30 years from now. Can you believe that? Like, can we just like, whoa, 30 years from now,
Mhm.
what you'd be doing. But right now you're making a much needed investment in yourself, which in turn, because we have to remember when we help ourselves, we help those around us. So the better you are, the better, it's going to be for your family.
And I found myself not having anything left to give, and really I realized I have to take some time for myself so I have something, beneficial, for my loved ones, left
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And funny how doing my nails has brought me so much happiness and,
Mm-hmm.
trying new things. And I've been having one career for so long. Feel like that was just going to be what that was, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think finally hearing God loud and clear and just listening, having a little bit of obedience and a little bit of faith and courage.
Mm.
It's really been an interesting ride. It's only been a few months, but I have no doubt that it was the right thing for me. Yeah.
Right. I love to hear that. And courage is so important. People think that it's easy. And it's just like, no, courage is doing what's right in the face of difficulty. Whatever
Because
you're getting ready to do,
for
it's
me was very
difficult.
difficult. I mean,
Yes.
it took me. I wrestled with that choice for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
And he sent me to be a messenger for you,
he
right?
did.
I was
He
like,
did.
you had me take this low wage job just to tell this lady that she needs to quit her job.
But that's how bullheaded I can be sometimes. That stubborn streak is pretty serious over here.
Oh, I
God
know.
knew it was
Oh,
going to take a strong woman to get through to me, and maybe a
mhm.
pandemic too. Like,
She was like, if you weren't convinced, we're gonna have this take place.
and there was a few kind of like conditions I put in my mind for like, okay, well, if this, then like that's when I'll leave, or if that,
Mhm.
like there was a few like stipulations I had created
Mm.
around my fear, I guess, of leaving.
We do
Like,
that though.
but
We
he
because
stripped it
we
all
want to
away.
be
It was like, oh
comfortable.
yeah,
Because that's
yeah,
us still trying to have that level of control. As
yes,
believers, we understand that. It's just like I we realize that we're not in control, but we have control. Like we control what we can control, and that which we can't is like take your hands off of it. And sometimes we're trying to manipulate the situation because we want it to come out a certain way. And he's just like, no, if I tell you to go, it's not for you to try to figure all of this out. Just move. Because what I realized too, Becca, is that we do not have time. I know people think
mm-hmm.
we think that we do. We don't have time. So not moving when you need to do something in a day or in a week, you're not just affecting yourself, but you're affecting other people.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what, and I'm going to just go back to this even with these jobs. We don't know who really should be in a position that we continue to stay in, and
Mm-hmm.
we
Are we
shouldn't.
blocking someone from their next blessing?
Yes,
By
yes,
dragging our feet. Like, are we slowing
yes.
down their path? And
We're connected. I know people don't believe that, but it's just like every step you take is just like you affect those around you. And so I want to tell you this, like for you to say that you want to spread joy and you want to spread love, you are helping women be reminded of taking care of them. And like I told you before, it's not about us just taking care of ourselves spiritually, because you have some people that focus more on one area and they neglect the other part of themselves. We have to be careful to take care of the entire woman. So you have some people that'll work out physically, but
mm-hmm.
they don't do anything to condition their mind.
Yeah.
They work out, but they don't do anything to make sure their mental
It's
health is
easy
in
to hyper focus. I think we don't realize how unbalanced we are because
mm-hmm.
we're so busy trying to do all the things and
Yes.
fulfill all the expectations, and we're trying to rise to all of the pressure that's on us for so many things, and you lose sight of that balance so easily. I remember being a young girl, a young adult, single, whatever, watching Oprah and hearing all these women talk about losing themselves in motherhood, and I just remember thinking, it can't be that
Mm.
big a deal. Like, what was I thinking? Like, for some reason, I thought I would be different. And the next thing I know, I am, like shoulder deep in all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
finally
Mm-hmm.
waking up one day and realizing, like, if I lose myself, who's here for my family? You
Yeah.
know, so kind of
Yeah.
realize like, you have to be a priority. So
You
you
do.
have the best of yourself to give. And that's what I think, we're called to do is use our talents that we're given. We don't always even realize them. Um, and I'm sure we miss many of them, but if you can even find one or two of your, gifts that God gave you and share it, the world will be a better place, even if it's your little bitty circle, but you never know how big your influence can be.
Yeah. It's
You did
about
not know taking that job was going to change my life. But you helped me, you didn't know and I didn't know. I mean, how could we have imagined what we were in for, you know?
yeah. Didn't imagine it at all. And when you said it, I'll never forget. I was like, no, I'm good. I think I'll continue, to sub. And I was, because you just came out of nowhere and said, I was like, we have a position to open. And I
Like,
was
don't
just
you
like,
want to work with us? Like, we're awesome. Let's have a good time.
and I was like, I'm having fun now. Like I was okay with the one day, right? Or you guys can request me again. But he knew, and I think about, and that's something that, I'm big on. Like, I'm one of the people that tell folks, hey, look, until you jump, you really can't talk to me about faith, because when you move without knowing what's going on, I'm telling you, that can be a very scary feeling, not knowing. But at the same token, Becca, I can say unequivocally today that I do not regret taking that position. I don't, because
Yeah.
there was impact that had to be made. And people have to understand too, even when you are going to make impact, there is always going to be the inevitable opposition to try to
Mhm.
make you to think that,
Oh yeah.
did I make the right
I
choice?
mean, when you're walking your path, the devil is most definitely going to target you the most. Then,
Mm-hmm.
he sees
Mm-hmm. And
that
I think that we think that it should be easier. Quite the contrary. It's far more
you.
challenging. And I just, I think about that, and I'm so happy for you to just see
Mhm.
where you are today, because my prayer, like I said, is that we get the exposure out there. Who knows? There may be someone, and I'm going to say this
Mhm.
again for you coming on. It's, to me, it's about reaching the one. If one person tunes in later
Mhm.
and they see she quit her job, she has a family, and now
Mhm.
she's doing Color Street. Like, Becca, I didn't hear about Color Street until the day I was voting. I was like, what? Like, you're
Yeah. What
talking
is
about
it?
it? I'm like, what is that? So I don't know, and again, like, we
Mhm.
didn't talk about this last year, but look at where we are. A year
You know,
later, I'm doing,
that day you came into my room, I sure didn't know how much I was going to need you either. When I was like, "Hey, come work with us," like it just seemed like
wow.
a silly, fun thing. Little did I know that I would need you, and I'm glad that you obviously took that job. You know,
Oh, I needed you too.
hmm
Like
and
the
now
what
you know
people,
you need Color Street. See how things
right?
fulfill in
Because
a year.
my hands looked
I
a hot mess,
By
and
your third or fourth set, I'm warning you, you might have a problem. There
I
might
might
be
have.
some like, yeah, you're gonna be hooked on it. Like there's no
Yeah.
going back, like
Well,
once you get the woof.
as long as they keep coming out with some nice colors, because like for me, I was dedicated to painting my nails like every 3 days, although I was working
Mhm.
with
Now
pre-K
you
students,
won't have to do it so often. You'll have more time for other things.
right?
And that's
Oh
and that's
my
one thing that I really like is I find there's so much more time for other things.
God.
Uh, I can feel
Mm-hmm.
fabulous and manage my other affairs.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to spend as
There's
much time. The thing is, it's nice to have those options though, because you have
yes.
some women where they don't. Some people right now don't feel comfortable going into the salons.
Mhm.
Some people just prefer not to have to do their hands at all, and that's fine. And for me,
Mhm.
I really prefer to not have to do that, but I wasn't able to do so today. And I
Mhm.
remembered, I said, if Becca is coming on tonight, I'm going to try the Color Street
Yeah.
and see how it goes. And I said, I'm going to go with the black. And I just feel like I will get the hang of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I still like, I don't do my own manicures, but I would love to do that every
Mhm.
now and then. But this takes some of the pressure off, where if someone has an event, like, this is perfect. Like, sometimes our schedules just don't allow us to have that hour and a half window to go sit in a salon and get nails done. Where literally I was just pulling and pressing down. And I think it's great
Yeah.
that you offer, a how-to video, because looking at it's like, okay, how is that about to work? You
And I
know?
had a couple of friends that had tried it before, but they they weren't getting the hang of it. And so I just made a little video talking to the camera, doing my nails or whatever, and they found a few tips and so just kind of getting the hang of the product itself. Once you get over that, I think it is kind of a game changer. And they go on acrylic nails too. So excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a great just filler for your between your visits.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to change it up or add one accent yourself or just have a good
Mm-hmm.
time. Like you said, the colors, the world really is colorful. And I
Mm-hmm.
think the more we embrace each other's colorfulness, and ourselves too, like it's a fun outlet. It's a fun
Mm-hmm.
outlet for that.
Fantastic. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, people are able to go to, and I just want to say this for those that may tune in a little later, but they can go to Becca D, so BECCAD, as in dog, nails at yahoo.com to email you.
Yes,
Um,
I'm gonna put that in the chat.
Okay. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a banner real quick. Um,
Okay.
because again, I still want people to be able, for those that, and you may be interested, somebody may, I'm going to put that up as well. But if people want to order from you, also, let me ask you this, Becca, are women, because I didn't read this part yet, but are women able to come under you, like to be
Yes.
a
So
sales?
that's how the business opportunity works. You direct commission off of your sales, both on your website and out of your personal stacks. Like when you came over, I was like, oh, look at all these I have. And it was just, you're just shopping right there with me. I tend to carry them with me now because people ask me a lot
Mm-hmm.
about my nails. And so I try and keep some on me because you just never know when this conversation will spark up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then, yeah, you sign up. I'm on a really, really encouraging team of women. It turns out a couple of the ladies that are on my team that have been doing this for a little bit longer, both are former parents at the school I was working. I just didn't know them in my previous job. I knew one of them, but um, my previous position there, I wasn't as connected with the families as much. I had a smaller circle there.
Okay.
I still always, I guess, kind of had a small circle as a special ed teacher. You just I'll have a few kids for years, sometimes at a time. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so they're selling it too, and so it's just really encouraging because everybody I think that's on this team and most of the people in this business and in this company do it
Uh-huh.
for all the same reasons. It's fun. It's fun to share. I think a lot of us have kind of a similar enjoyment out of it. Everybody has their own reasons why or how they got in and things like that. But the product
Mm-hmm.
itself is just fun and easy and so I think it attracts a lot of similar minded people.
Mm-hmm.
And I really
Mm-hmm.
noticed like the team that I'm on is super encouraging, and that's something you don't find everywhere, especially working with a lot of women. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that can be challenging.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we build each other up as much as we should. I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us feel so easily threatened that we forget that we're all here for our own purpose and with our own gifts. So if
Mm-hmm.
we're only going to be better if we're encouraging those around us, so I've seen a lot of that in this company too, which is another reason I think I'm so excited to have joined and just see where it goes and see where it takes me, you know
I
and
love
haven't
to
even
hear
done it yet.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. And you see, I think that anything that we are promoting, we should be excited about it. And I think it's important to to know your why behind it. Because if somebody say, I just need some extra money,
You can
it's
do
not,
that any which way. Like there's a
it's
lot of ways to. Mhm.
right. It's not going to resonate with those that you are trying to sell the product to. But if it's something that you believe in,
Mhm.
and you understand again your why, like, why am I doing this? I think that's what gets us out of bed. That's what keeps us going no matter what challenges are going to, because they're coming. The challenges are
Mhm.
going to be there, but that's what helps us to keep the momentum no
Mhm.
matter what. Like me doing Women's Champ, I love that you said that about women. We don't support each other enough. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this Power Hour series is to give women who are, some women have gone full on with entrepreneurship. Some women just want to do it as a side hustle. I want to give them an opportunity to talk about why they are creating the products that they're creating. Why are they writing the book that they're writing? For those reasons, and also too to have that genuine support because we need it. Life is tough enough, and I've said it before. Like I'm not with these faux support groups where it's really women
Mhm.
trying to compete against one another, and we don't have time for that. Understand your lane, and that goes back to understanding your purpose for now,
Mhm.
because you were purposed 17 years ago to teach, but 17 years later was just like, okay, this is transition period, Becca. Don't
Mhm.
keep fighting it. And I think it's important for those of us that have taken that walk to share our story. That's another reason why I wanted you to come on, talk about those things, because we don't know who we are helping. And I put that in the email. You never know. It could be one line, one word that changes the trajectory of the way someone is thinking about themselves, because that's really where it is, how we view ourselves.
I think, yeah, I think too when I really started thinking more about it and like our priorities and like where was all of my energy going. I was spending so much energy in places that weren't returning,
Mm,
um, like powerful, love and just commitment to my family or to myself. And I just realized like there's some small sacrifices that we could make that would give us much more of a, a valuable life together, especially right now when our children are still young,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of
Mm-hmm.
realizing that, like you said, my purpose then was different. Um, and now it's time to just try some new things and really have more available for my family, more
Yeah.
time. Like during this, this school year going back has been so challenging for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We've been very blessed. Our kids have been back in school since day one. We had that option. And
Mm-hmm.
we knew that was the best place for our children to be, was back at their school. um,
Okay.
and so having time to focus on them and having them be their best selves for that, and not having them running around with us being so busy,
Mm-hmm.
and having time with our youngest. And we've had a couple of things happen this year that the stress of just one simple life event, because like you said, things happen. I mean, once you become a mom, you realize how little control you actually have in this world. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
have managed some pretty, messy situations in large public places as a mom, of course.
Mm-hmm.
There's always those things that come up. I mean, even today we had a nosebleed after
Mm-hmm.
school. You never know. But so things
Yes.
happen in life, as with kids and with anything, and just having the flexibility and the calmness to know that, like, this doesn't really, I mean, I'm available to help with this 100%. I don't have to juggle my other job, or my husband doesn't have to juggle. We're not switching off or figuring
Mm-hmm.
out how we're going to fit in the needs of our children into our day, like being able to just let their needs be the priority, and everything else kind of fills in the gaps. And that's like with selling Color Street, like it just fills in the gaps of my time. Like I can focus with my toddler at home. I'm able to pick my kids up on time from school, which was a challenge
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
But this is something that it gives me joy. It helps me share some joy, and it allows more time, for my
Mm-hmm.
kids. And if there's other women who find the same thing, whether it's Color Street or something else, I think that you'll be nothing but blessed by listening to that voice. If you feel
Yeah.
the nudge, you might as well really pay attention to it, because
Yes.
if your journey is changing, if you're transitioning to something, and like you said earlier, the longer you don't follow and don't listen, like, how much longer are you going to wait before your next blessing comes? And are you holding a blessing
Mm-hmm.
from somebody back? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's okay to
Mm-hmm.
be scared. You should be scared a little, I think. I think if you're not
Mm-hmm.
scared, then
I think that that's part of
it's
us being reminded that, I have to rely
Mhm,
on a source that is beyond me,
mhm,
because we can only go so far. And
mhm.
again, if you feel that nudge to do something different, go for it. I think that this year, to me, should have provided quite a bit of clarity for a lot of us in
Mhm.
a number of different areas of our lives, and just how quick things can change. None of us that left the school thought that would be the last week that we're working together, because the world was shut down. The
Yes,
world, not
the
just the
world.
United States, the world was shut down. And I guess for
We just
me,
went home on spring break, like so many other people. Like we went on spring break, and it wasn't
mhm,
until midweek that I started to think, hmm.
mm,
By Wednesday, I was really kind of waiting for some announcement. I
mhm,
think we got it Thursday. But I remember, like, so I haven't thought about this in a while. When it was
mm,
first happening, it crossed my mind many, many times a day. But I so clearly remember kissing all their little heads at lunch. See you in a week, see you in a week, have a good spring break,
mhm,
love you, kiss their little heads on, and hug them however we greeted each other, said goodbye. They all had their different levels of comfort and relationship with me. But after 3
yes,
years, some of those kids I was kissing on their heads on a regular
mm,
basis. um, but I just remember saying, see you in a week, see you in a week, to my
yeah,
students, to our students. And it was never quite the same after that,
yeah,
So
yeah. And so,
I
and
just
and I said all that to
more.
say, go, like, we just got to go for it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because you were in your mind, like you said earlier, it was like, okay, well, I'll make that move when this happens. And sometimes that, it's like, it's really fear disguised as us trying to be practical and logical. And logic and faith don't go together, at all.
Right.
So when it's time for something for you to do, go for it. And trusting the process can be challenging. I won't say that it's easy, but I can talk about this because not only have I done the work, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it. Before we left, neither of us were doing what we're doing now. I wasn't doing a show. You weren't selling a product,
No, I
you
wasn't
know,
selling nails and barbecue.
you know, but here
Mhm.
we are. And
Mhm.
what we've gone through before has led us to this spot. And so I just want to ask you this, Becca. I really like to always end my show with asking my guests, what are they grateful for?
It's funny you say that. I was just thinking, something I hadn't mentioned yet was that it is not lost on me, like how blessed I am to be in this
Mm,
position right now.
mm-hmm,
Having left a job that I love, but leaving a very stressful situation, and just knowing that my friends are still in that position. A lot of my friends are really, I mean, this is a tough year to be a teacher. It's a
yes.
tough year to be a lot of things. I mean, my
Mm-hmm,
sister-in-law,
mm-hmm,
is a medical professional, and oh my goodness, like the stress that that community is under, and
mm-hmm,
I'm just grateful that I'm so grateful that the Lord kept pushing me until I heard and I listened. And I'm glad that my husband is so supportive, and I have a great group of friends that accept me and all my flaws and craziness, and then every single time I told one of my friends, like whether I was thinking about leaving or that I actually had done it, like their support just, it meant the world to me, to
mm,
know that they had my back. And, you know, so it's just, I think that I'm just grateful to still be doing what God wants me to do. And this is something different. And, focusing on being a mom is an incredible opportunity that
mm-hmm,
I'm grateful to have, really got good, healthy
mm-hmm.
kids. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really curious. Like you said, in 30 years, I can't even imagine that. I mean, even in 1 or 2 years,
Yeah.
like just so much has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think I mentioned earlier, like I'm still releasing a lot of that stress. Like I didn't just make this decision, like poof, like, oh, I felt better and life was great. And I mean, it takes some time, I think, to kind of recover and recuperate, rejuvenate kind of like
Yeah.
your spirit when you carry those burdens for so long. So I'm still on that journey,
Mm-hmm.
but it does, I do feel lighter, like if that makes any
Uh,
sense. And I think
yes.
part of it is because as much as I really did love teaching, and I still do, like I don't think that my career in that area is completely finished. It'll just be different whenever I
Mm-hmm.
do go back, and I don't know when that door will open, and I'm okay with that. I think when I first made the decision, my mind immediately went to, okay, well, I can do other services. I have all these skill sets. Like this is my passion for families, for moms of special needs children, and
Mm-hmm.
what services could I offer in homes or private therapy? Just, I it was just constantly circling in my mind about like what would be the next thing in this career set that
Mm-hmm.
would be the next door for me. And there was
Mm-hmm.
a couple of opportunities um, and options out there, but none of it just felt right. And I had decided, and I realized I made such a drastic change. Like I better
Mm-hmm.
not step in anything unless I feel like that door just swung wide open, and that's really where I
Okay.
should go. So I just kind of took a little time and set back a little bit and just kind of sat on those ideas for a while. And then it's funny because I was at a birthday party today earlier, and one of the moms was like, "When are you gonna sub? What are you gonna do?" And I was like, "You know what? I'm not doing any of that for a year." I
Mm-hmm.
kind of finally, I think I realized like I need a good separation from that, and I've got
Mm-hmm.
the Color
Mm-hmm.
Street opportunity that I'm
Mm-hmm.
just loving, and some other things. And I was like, this is just at least a year. We'll see. But
Yes.
I feel like some cool things have already happened, and God's already opening the doors along my path. And
Mm-hmm.
what's open next? I think I'm grateful that I have a little more clarity to see and maybe be open to new doors where I think I was closed for a while. I think there was other opportunities
Mm-hmm.
now that might have, you know, maybe I should have done that. Maybe I wasn't really listening and I wasn't in tune with what I needed or the people around me needed because I was just so busy. I
Yes.
think my mind was so busy. And I think that last year when we met, I didn't realize how busy my mind had gotten,
Okay.
until, a few more months down the road into that school year. And it's just like, I don't really have enough left for myself or anyone anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And it's all
And I'm grateful
right.
for your friendship because,
Oh.
just how funny is the world sometimes, Your
Mm-hmm.
real small place. Like, you never know when you're going to meet someone who might change your life.
I know. I know. And I have to tell you this as well, since we're there. I'm grateful that, and some people don't know this. I've shared this with like people that are really close to me about, some of the challenges that I faced, although I was walking by faith. And one of those challenges being that I didn't have transportation because my transportation was totaled. And I had a lot of different things going on at that time. And when you find out that I was taking a lift to work, because this is just amazing. And I just have to say this because people won't understand the fullness of it, because I can't go into too much detail right now. But what are the odds that I would live 7 minutes from you?
Mm-hmm.
7 minutes from you. And when you found out that I was taking a lift, and you were just like, well, just lift to my house in the morning and we can ride to work together and I can drop you off. You were just like, it's no big deal. But to me, it was a great deal because if you had not offered that, what I was spending a day to get to work and for my children to get from their school to the job, like I'm lifting to work, lifting Kevin and Sanaa from their school to the job and then hopping in the lift with them. That was $60. And you know how much I was getting paid. There was no way I was going to be
That was
able
not
to.
sustainable.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then the type of work that we were doing, it takes a lot out of you physically as well as emotionally. I'm grateful that you'd open your time even with your family for me and my children. Like you made room, and Becca, some people don't do that. They don't make room for others in their lives. And so I, just believe that I have to remind myself that I'm so special by God, and I know you are as well, that you chose to help me. So he has to bless you.
I never
Like
thought about that.
he
Well,
has to. He has to. And to you it's just probably not a big deal, but we'd be amazed at the people that know us and know that we're struggling and will not lend a hand. And God has been showing me through this process that I'm going to send people that don't know you, but they don't know you, but they're going to know you a lot deeper than people that's been around you. And they are the ones that are going to make impact in your life. So I want to tell you, I thank you for, that friendship. Because, again, we didn't always see eye to eye, but the love was never lost.
right, right, right.
The love
Well,
was
and no, and I think, I don't know. I just think that sometimes when you were following um, a journey that most people wouldn't take, and
never.
like that courage, I think is inspirational to me and so many people,
Mm-hmm.
So giving you a ride and having those few extra minutes with you and your kiddos was a blessing to me too. I think we both benefited from that then.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
just me giving. I got some back too.
Wow. I appreciate that. I left your website up for those that
Awesome.
will tune in so that they can support you any way that they can. And, maybe men watching, hey, Christmas is coming up. People have birthdays.
Yes.
Um,
So
yeah.
one thing I'll say about Color Street is gifting. It's a great gift because it's for everybody, like
Mm-hmm.
young girls. I mean, anybody. It's so customizable, and I think that's one thing that I find so fun about it is that I don't worry. Well, this product might not work for you because I know it will. I mean, if
Okay.
you like to paint your nails, I know it will work for you. Um, because they, like you said, when the creator of the company, when he started this years ago, and he's developed a
Mm-hmm.
great product, and he's really reinvented nail polish, and it's so
Mm-hmm.
easy to gift. Like I've given it for birthday gifts and teacher appreciation gifts now. Like if you're getting a gift from me, you might be getting Color Street, because if you don't know
Mm-hmm.
about it yet, I want you to know about it because I think you'll love it, and I think it'll bring you some happiness. And I think that's kind of where my extra drive is in selling this product in this company, is just I know it can make people happy, and when I think
Mm-hmm.
if you can find a quick, easy gift for people, I just think that's so well received. We've gotten so used to gift cards, it's a gift of convenience, but I think that,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes that's an incredible gift,
Yes.
I like giving something that's just a little more personal, so.
Yes. And I think that
Yeah.
this would be great for moms as well, because I just thought about it, like little girls that want their nails painted. You don't have
Oh,
to worry about messing up furniture or nail polish falling on the
yes,
carpet.
for sure. Because we've done my daughter's nails, my niece's nails.
Hmm. Okay. So I don't know what happened with Becca's.
I told you my boys crying
Oh, there
4-year-old.
you
Oh,
go.
did I lose
I
my
didn't,
connection? There you go.
yes.
Well, I was going to say the packaging makes it perfect for gifting because it comes with what you need. It comes with a nail prep pad, it comes with the nail file, and the color. So really,
Yes.
it's like a manicure on the go. I've taken it on trips with me and done my nails. I mean, you can do them on the plane. You can do them when you get to your destination.
Hmm.
It's super convenient. So convenient. So it's a
Well,
perfect gift for yourself or others.
I know
And if you
that's
have
right.
questions, email me.
Yes. Becca, I just want to tell you thank you so much for coming on. Um, that we've gone a solid hour.
Yes,
And
we have.
yes, I'm so happy for you. And I can't wait to have you on again. And, hopefully, my prayer is that you get some great sales and that you're able to continue to spread this love.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we need every bit of
Cool.
joy. Huh? What'd you say?
It's just pretty cool, sharing something that's so fun and being able to earn a little income for it. Like
Yeah.
it's really a neat feeling. It's a different kind of income than I've ever had before. So this has been a fun
Mm,
hour. Not nearly as stressful as I thought it would be.
good. So I'm just going to have you hold tight as I end the broadcast. And I just want to thank those of you that are watching. Please like, please share um, this stream, because again, this has been such a wonderful conversation. I believe your story, Becca, is going to certainly help someone take that leap of faith. Somebody's right there on the edge and they're just like, I don't know if I can do it, but there's something that you said to help them realize I am
I
going
hope
to
so.
go for it. Yes, it is.
Mhm.
So for
Be
everyone that is
courageous.
watching,
Be courageous.
yes, yes, be courageous. Do
I
what's
mean,
right.
it's what you said. We don't know how much time we have. We don't really have nearly as much as we think. So you might as well live your best life while you're living it,
You
Super
should be
important.
living it, because it's a difference between existing and living. And that's a
Mhm.
completely different conversation.
That's
So
another hour.
it really is. So I just want to tell everyone that is watching, please be safe and be great. And until next time, next Thursday, I will see you all soon.
Bye, y'all.